Hello everyone, my name is Bailey and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through my most recent sketchbook. So I say this is my most recent sketchbook because I just finished filling the pages out recently, but I actually have sketches in here from like 2024. I really enjoyed making the video for my very first ever sketchbook tour, which I will link above. When I recently completed this sketchbook, I thought it would be really fun to go through it and talk about it. So yeah, this video is gonna be very chatty. It's gonna make up for the no talking video I posted previously. If you're into more chatty, casual hangout videos, this is definitely the one for you. One more disclaimer before we begin is that this is a sketchbook and I do treat my sketchbooks as kind of a free-for-all zone. I do a lot of ugly sketching in my traditional sketchbooks. Another reason why I wanted to do a sketchbook tour is because I wanted to show the more ugly drawings and how not every idea comes out perfectly and how much time and effort it actually takes to develop ideas. There's a lot of different kinds of drawings in here, a lot of cool stuff, and I'm really excited to actually yap about it. Okay, I think that is a long enough intro. Let's go ahead and get into it. I also want to apologize in the beginning for any shakiness. My stand that I have that I use to hold my phone is starting to give out on me, and I don't really have the funds to buy a new one right now. But anyways, we are gonna go ahead and get started. So this first page here is actually just me testing out the colors of a new marker set I got. So I will say, the sketchbook starts out very strong. It does not get better from here. This is the peak, just letting y'all know. But these are sketches I did when I used to work at a bank and I had some free time, and I just redid them for the sketchbook and made them bigger and colored them in. I really enjoy this more abstract style when it comes to landscapes. Here is a self-portrait I did based off a photo of myself. It's not exactly perfect, of course, but again, this is a sketchbook. Here are some sketches of my persona, who I named Dawn, which is my middle name. She is what I usually draw to represent myself, but I draw her with wolf ears and a tail. Are some sketches of a character I've created kind of in collaboration with my husband. She is kind of like an outlaw, outcast, warrior type character who hangs out with dragons. So you can see here also some sketches of her dragon friends. And I'll go ahead and talk about this page first because it is actually a little bit of world building for the character on the previous page, trying to come up with a map and also just adding more elements of the world that they live in. This page here, we have some colored pencil sketches of a character named Clygo, who is one of my original characters. He's a little bit of a weirdo. On this page here, we have some sketches of one of my spirit guides. This is the spirit guide representing misery. I base a lot of my spirit guides off of ancient religions. So think Greek, Egyptian, but also ancient American religions. And I usually combine references from these different religions into one character. On the other side, we have some sketches of my original characters, Dan and Comb. Dan being the dragon man character and Comb being the bird lady with wings. They are a couple. I made Comb based off of the name Comb, which means dove, and we'll write on the screen what language it means because it escapes me at the time, but yeah, I created her based off of the name. And then I created Dan based off of Dan Reynolds from Imagine Dragons. These characters very long ago, probably in like 2013 when I was first getting into Imagine Dragons. And here is a sort of finished illustration of those two characters, all colored. They're so cute. And here we have an unfinished sketch because I did not enjoy the sketch of my Pokemon character and her Arcanine. These are some sketches of a different spirit guide. This spirit guide is an alien. And I know I keep saying spirit guides. It's because I have no better word to describe the characters I'm creating. It's kind of a lot to get into for this video, which is about the sketchbook, but if y'all would like a more in-depth explanation to what my spirit guides are and how I created them, I would love to make that video. So just let me know down in the comments if that is something you would be interested in. And this is a page of just some Pegasus sketches because Pegasus are super cool. Here is a sketch of my original Fursana Rain, who I talk about in my first video. And then here I have just tried to redraw this drawing. That is something I love to do, and you will see a lot, is I love to redraw my own drawings. So so here we have another more finished drawing in the sketchbook. This one is interesting because I originally created this image because I wanted to paint purple hair and just made the character green for fun. But as I've recently been developing my spirit guides and stuff, I've realized this character is one of my spirit guides. So this is sort of a redraw of that character with the added context knowing it is one of my spirit guides. I love this one so much. I seriously need to make it into like an actual painting. It is so cute. This is almost kind of a more realistic version of the first landscapes in the sketchbook, the like really abstract line work landscapes, whereas this one has much more naturalistic features with the mountains, the flowers, and this tree right here. A truly random page of sketches. There's a little bit of everything here. I think this is just random proportion sketching. This is a character I created for practicing anatomy. She may also be a spirit guide. I have not quite figured her out yet. And then some Pokemon here at the top, as well as some random flowers. Probably practice for the previous actually cool sketch in the sketchbook. Here we have another page of random unrelated sketches. This one down here is of another one of my spirit guides. This is actually my #1 spirit guide, you could say. It's the one I most closely relate to and most often draw. Then we have another cute little sketch of Dan and Comb. Another sketch here of my dragon lady character. On this page, we have me starting to design my Pokemon character. You will see this character, or me trying to design this character a lot, because I have a really cool idea for creating my own Pokemon character and taking us through her journey. I have been playing Pokemon from a pretty young age, probably like 8 or 9. Even though I didn't get to play every single game out there, Pokemon has a huge impact on my life and is something I really enjoy even to this day. On this page, I had just written down my original team from my playthrough of my very first Pokemon game. So the very first Pokemon game I ever played was Generation 3. I had Ruby. And because of that, Generation 3 is still hands down my favorite generation. The only generation that comes close is Generation, is it Alola? Is it Alola 5? I believe Gen 5 or Gen 6. Whatever generation Alola is, I love all the Alolan Pokemon. They're so cool. Here on this page, we have some sketches of Dawn again. We actually have her in a different style here. I was trying out putting the ears on the top of the head instead on the side of the head like I usually do. It is cute, but I don't know. I think I will still draw her with the ears on the side unless I'm doing like a super chibi cute style. Here we have a marker test page, and this time I actually labeled it. I think I regretted not labeling my other marker test page. And here I actually did a bit more experimenting because these are my acrylic markers I got, and I wanted to see how they would layer over each other and if the lighter colors show up over the darker colors, because sometimes that doesn't happen. Man, I really have some like banger landscapes in the sketchbook. I don't know what that's about, but I also love this one. I can see I was trying to go a bit more cartoony from the last one where I went a little bit more into the realism. Here you can see I definitely tried to tone down the mountains. There's no greenery, but I still kept the more wavy lines. This is so cute, man. Here is another self-portrait, this time with a bunch of fun colors. It is pretty good. I like it. My proportions aren't exactly correct for my face, but it looks good, even though it doesn't look like me. These are doodles of my current fursona and my probably lifelong fursona. I named her B. Her design hasn't changed very much since I created her, just kind of little details kind of change every year depending on how I'm feeling. And every now and then I will change her hair up and do something cool with her hair. I can see that my landscape game is not as strong in colored pencils, but it's fun to experiment. This was obviously an experiment with landscaping and perspective. So these next few pages, I was gonna try to create some kind of like stop motion, you know, optical illusion type thing. I don't know, sometimes I don't want to sketch, I don't want to think, I just want to color. So what I usually do is just create shapes and color them in. Here we have another sketch of my Pokemon trainer. On this page, we have me actually kind of designing two of my spirit guides. So here you can see this is the character with purple hair. And then these ones down here was the Misery character. These are just some sketches of my Dragon Lady character and me trying to design her dragons. Another page of sketches of Dan and Comb. And a very chaotic page of a bunch of random sketches. You know, I'm not sure what's going on here. This is another original character of mine. Her name is Lavender. She is a witch. This page seems like another page of random sketches, but it is actually a failed video I tried to do last year. I was going to redraw some sketches from my first sketchbook ever. So here I was just practicing which ones I wanted to redraw. I'm not quite sure why I never made it. Something must have went wrong, or I didn't like something, so. But hey, you guys get to see them now at least. Yet another page of my Pokemon character. You can see me, I'm trying to use different styles, trying to decide what I eventually want this whole series to look like, because I would like this series to have a consistent style throughout it. And I'm a person that loves to draw in many different styles, so it's kind of hard for me to just pick one style and stick to it. On this page, we have a character design I did a really long time ago. I was really into the furry community in like 2012. Character design was such a huge thing, and also monster design. So of course I designed my own monsters. This is kind of what they would look like. They would all have masks with different numbers on them. And here we start the sketches for the failed video. So this is a redraw from my original sketchbook, and I think the next few ones are. I obviously did not care because I painted on the back of it here and it's bleeding through. Oh, they're just marker tests. I literally just tested the marker on the back. I wonder if I did that on purpose or if it was an accident. And if you ignore all the marker testing, this was also a redraw from that original sketchbook. Oh, this one's so cute. This is the last redraw, but I actually added a little twist to this redraw because I made it into one of my original characters that I have now. His name is Levi7. He was named by my husband. He is an Aussie. Some more sketches of my alien spirit guide. I was trying to design her disguise because in my head she existed during very early times in the Appalachian Mountains and interacted with both Indians and colonists. So she had appropriate disguises for each of those so they didn't know she was an alien. I also can picture her in like a Wild West setting as well. She is an alien, so I'm sure she's been to many places in Earth's history. And here we have some sketches of what seems to be a Pegasus and some sort of character. I probably just wanted to practice drawing horses again. These are sketches of my persona Dawn in different outfits I own, and also some wing practice with some extra eyeballs for good luck. And this page is the same, except minus the wing and eyeballs. We have another cute little Dan and column sketch. And this is just an upside down list of outfits for my character. Some more sketches of my OC column. Failed sketch of Dan and Comb, and some random sketchy pen practice. These pages are like the most fun to do in sketchbooks, honestly, because you don't care what it's gonna look like, because theoretically no one's gonna see it. You're just scribbling. It's very cathartic. Me trying to make a horse cartoon challenge. You know, this one isn't terrible. Like, obviously I'm trying to make an My Little Pony right here. And like, I think I'm trying to find an in-between My Little Pony versus realism, which if you know anything about art, horses are notoriously hard to draw and stylize. So you can see I had a lot of failed attempts here. Here are some original dragon characters of mine. They're actually pretty simple characters, but I really love them. So this is Thing, who is also featured in my Dragon Lady story. And then this is Milo, who is a dragon I made very obviously after Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, but I made him a bit different. He is a water dragon. He spends most of his time overseas, and he catches fish with his tail. It has a little mouth on it. This really bad sketch here is a fairy dragon character of mine who is super small and usually hangs out on my Dragon Lady's shoulder. Horse practice along with an attempt at my alien spirit guide. This was practice for a commission for somebody's daughter who really likes the series that this dragon is from. And again, I cannot remember the name of the series. Seems like a pretty cool series, but I have never read it. But I really like all the designs. They were really cool. I'll definitely have to take a picture of this one and zoom it in for you, but that is a sketch of my werewolf character. Her name is Genesis. And again, more practice for that commission I had. So these two designs are for my witch character, Lavender. She actually has a snake sleeve, so the snakes go all the way down her arm. So basically, I just found two tattoo designs that I really liked, and I combined them to make a full sleeve. So this part will start at her shoulder and go down probably past her elbow, and then this one will start at wherever this one ends, and then end on her wrist. Pretty proud of this design. It's a really cool combination. I don't think I would ever get it for myself, but I do love tattoos. They're so cool. And then we have a page of nothing with the marker behind bleeding through. So here's another example of me redrawing something. I believe this one is the older one and this one is the newer one. This is my OC Lavender, and you can see me trying to get her snake tattoo on there. I don't know if I like these ones. This one is a little, what's going on there? But you know. And here we just have some sketches of screenshots from my playthrough of Pokemon Arceus. This is my character with her shiny alpha Gengar, just frolicking through the woods on Weirdeer. Is that his name? I really hope so. I haven't played this game in so long. I need to play it again. And then Ursa Luna and Teddy Ursa, also both shiny, of course. Pokemon Arceus is definitely the game I have the most shinies in, not counting Sword and Shield because that's just where I transfer my favorite shinies, basically. This is a really cool page of sketches of myself again. This is from a photo shoot I did probably a long time ago now. That's crazy. But I just had this really beautiful flower bush in our backyard, and I thought about this primary color scheme of an outfit where I could wear red and blue, and then the flowers would be the yellow. So yeah, this is just a bunch of sketches from that photo shoot. You can see here on these two, I tried to redo the faces and it kind of worked, but yeah, they do look a little funny because the white marker leaves a weird sheen for some reason. But I still really like it. It's really, really cool. Some more Pokemon sketches. These are from Sword and Shield. This little Growlithe sleeping is so cute, and Inteleon, like, these are sketches of a character of mine that, you know what, I don't think she has a name, but I based her heavily off of like Legoshi, or like specifically thinking she exists inside the Beastar world. She's like very, very shy, and she either has a girlfriend that's a tiger or a best friend that's a tiger. She has a feline best friend, possibly lover. Some cat girl sketches, because who doesn't love a cat girl? These are actually redraws from a different sketchbook. I have no idea which sketchbook, but I recognize them. This is of my character named Maud, who is probably heavily based off of Maud from The Big Lebowski, now that I think about it, but she is, I don't even know what she is. Is she a rat? Is she a wolf? You know, she's somewhere in the middle. That's what she is. More cat lady character. And another random page of Dawn. This one right here is actually a redraw from an older sketchbook. When I was younger, I was severely depressed, especially in my junior year, so I gave my character a bunch of scars to represent that. Might have to censor this, I don't know. I obviously had this character trapped in my head and was desperately trying to get her out because I have a bunch of random, very messy, very sketchy pages of her. I don't even have an, oh look, Nero? Is that what I was gonna name her? Mayhaps? She's cute. And a messy, sketchy page of, it looks like B, and then a dress. I don't know what it is about these sketches, but I kind of love them. I kind of like this like eye style here. Why does he look so... Anyways, we have Dan, Dawn, and Column. And then we have more planning for my Pokemon story. I don't know if I should spoil it, you know? If I'm gonna make this into a real thing, perhaps I should just move on from that. We have some more sketches of Column. This is actually an old outfit I used to put her in, which is so silly now, but I redrew her in that old outfit. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be. It's like a bodysuit with long sleeves and leggings. Like, what? I think we just have some truly random sketches here, some eyeballs. I usually start off drawing eyeballs. I don't know why, but anytime I sit down to start sketching, I usually start with an eyeball. Some more horse practice. Obviously not very good horse practice. This is actually another one of my spirit guides. This one, I definitely feminized it. Like, I think the spirit guide is actually a masculine energy, but I just love drawing girls, okay? So yeah, this one represents Lucifer, but more so like the Loki side of Lucifer, where it's very mischievous and playful and kind of like Lucifer in the series and not, you know, the Bible. This sketch up here, it is supposed to be Lucifer, and then this character represents Michael. And they're girls because I'm a girl, so deal with it. Got some random sketches on top here, but on the other side we have some practice for my background, I guess. I don't know, whatever I use in the background picture for all of my social media. I almost went with the clouds. But I don't know, the white wolf is just me. That is really truly
on all levels except physical. I am a wolf.
Some drawings of my persona B and a random horse down here. I hope he's okay. He doesn't look okay, but we're praying for him. So these sketches are interesting because they are of an idea I've had for a super long time. I'll insert the very first drawing I did related to this concept. And then I also did one recently, and I might as well share it here too. So I'll go ahead and share the one I did recently. I don't know, there's just a specific vision I have with the sunflower and the angle at which the girl is looking at the sunflower, and I just can't quite get it how I'd like. So these are sketches of me trying to think, what if the sunflower came out of the girl instead of right beside the girl? And it still wasn't exactly what I was thinking. And then down here we actually have a little drawing of Misery. Another page of bee sketches. Here we have another attempt of my Pokemon trainer with Arcanine. I think that one is a lot cuter. And we have my Sword and Shield character in her little Sword and Shield outfit. And then, oh, which one is this? I'm about to be a fake fan. Oh, it has to be Zacian. It has to be Zacian because Zamazenta is the one with the shield, correct? Correct?
Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
This is actually a page of me literally just testing my signature and testing different ways to draw my signature. I also have a really cool idea for an intro of me like writing my signature, and it's really smooth and cool, but unfortunately I don't quite have the animation skills for that, so each year hopefully they'll get a little bit better and a little bit closer to what I want. A very angry looking sketch of the cat character from earlier. Pokemon character sketch. Even more cat character. She looks different here. This is probably my first attempts at drawing her, and I'm like, no, that's not exactly. And then the later ones is kind of more accurate to how I think she looks. Again, we have another spirit guide here. This is my 222 spirit guide, so she's kind of my second most important one. I use Artemis to reference her usually, but she basically is Artemis. I connect her to the hunt, to the moon. She's very connected to duality for me, so like predator, prey, life, death, things like that. In the very last page, so much more anticlimactic. Maybe I should have went through this sketchbook backwards, because it would have been a lot more satisfying to have the really cool landscape paintings at the end instead of the beginning. But you know, this is just how sketchbooks go. You don't get what you want when you want it, and the whole point of a sketchbook is to get an idea out. Yeah, this is just a really simple page of Dawn and me practicing heads and them turning. So yeah, that was my entire most recent sketchbook. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments which painting was your favorite or which sketch was your favorite, and tell me, do you prefer the more finished ones like these, or do you prefer the page full of random sketches? I had a really good time yapping about all the things I draw and that I'm interested in. I get really nervous making more talking videos. I feel like I'm cringe sometimes, but the whole point of this YouTube channel is for me to embrace my cringeness and share it with the world. Yeah, thank you again so much for watching. If you liked it, you can leave it a like, leave me a comment, go ahead and subscribe to get more videos like this. If you want to support me in other ways, I have a Patreon that you can join. Right now I have different tiers, but one of the YouTubers I watch, recently she came out and said that she made all the benefits for all the tiers the same, even though the payment is different, so you can just choose what you pay and you get all the benefits. And I'm thinking I will probably implement something like that, because I also don't really like the tier systems, but also want to give people a way to support me so I can create even more art. I'm very limited in resources and time, so any support means so much to me and goes a long way. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!